Matt here, and welcome to another Mob Street video. Now today, me and my wife brought these T-dubs out here so that we could show you the difference between a 1998 and a 2019. Now obviously, the 1998, one of the last years before one of the big changes happened for the TW200. And we're going to get into that. So, riding this one up here, after riding my 2019, I did notice a few differences. And that is what we really want to talk about in this video. So, very first, starting at the front of the bike. On the 1998 and older and 2000 and older, the front wheel had a drum brake. And 2001 and newer have the disc brake. That was one of the first things that I noticed. Secondly, the switches have been updated. Now, they have the exact same function between both bikes. They do the exact same thing. So it's just been a few little cosmetic things that have changed on those. Another thing that I noticed was on the dash underneath the speedometer, the newer models, or the last 20 years models, have a trip meter on them. And I use that, just to gauge how far I've gone and can kind of pretty much determine how much longer I can go before I run out of fuel. The 1998 doesn't have that. So moving down the bike a little bit, the carburetor has been updated. And in all honesty, that's not going to be something that you really notice between, we'll call them generations, between the two generations of bikes. So you have the older gen and the new gen. So the older gens, the carburetor had, the new gens, the carburetor has been updated, but in all honesty, it's not really going to be something that you notice a whole lot. So the big change and the big difference between the two is the Kickstart. The old gens have the Kickstart on them, the new gens do not. Now, for some people, that might be either a turn on or a turn off for whichever generation of TW you want to go with. Now, this bike, both of them take batteries, but this bike doesn't have a battery in it. It has been simply using the Kickstart to start the machine and take off. And it has worked. This one uses only the electric start. Now, if your battery dies on this, you can bump start the bike and you can get home. So as long as you're in an area where you can get the bike bump started. I have a video on that, and that was one of the biggest conversations we had between the bikes was, what about the Kickstart? You need to have the Kickstart. What if you're in a situation where you can't bump start the bike? And in all honesty, as of yet, I have not been in a situation where I cannot get the bike turned around and bump start it. So that's one of the things that a lot of people really like about the Kickstart. The older gen bikes have the electric start and the Kickstart. Now, that being said, there are places that you can get a Kickstart kit for the newer gens. I've gone onto the forums, I've tried to find them. Some people have said there's dealerships out on the West Coast that sell them. Recently in one of my other videos, I had somebody say, hey, I just bought a Kickstart kit, and I think it was just below 300 bucks for the newer gens that he had installed. So I know they're out there. You might have to do a little bit of searching to find them, but they can be found. Now, as far as differences between the older gens and the new gens go, those are going to be the major differences that you notice. So even on the rear wheels on the new ones, they still have the drum brake, still the same gearing, and the suspension has stayed the same. It still has the 196cc engine in them, so those things haven't changed. And if you're riding the two, depending on how aggressive you ride, you might want to go with the disc front brake instead of the drum brake. You might want to go with a Kickstart instead of only the electric start. It's entirely up to you because both of these bikes are extremely durable They're both extremely fun. They're both, as far as stance goes, they're both the exact same. Suspension hasn't changed, and they are just both an absolute riot to ride. Now, these and these both all hold their value extremely well. So this bike right here, in the condition that it's in, out here in Utah, you could throw it on our KSL classifieds, and you could probably get anywhere from, I'd say, $1,800 to $2,500 out of this bike, depending the condition that they're in and what accessories have been done to them. So as far as pure enjoyment goes, you can have fun on both. You can get out in the hills, you can get out into the middle of nowhere, you can get out and ride through town, you can use them on college campuses, you can use them for urban commuting. I mean, the options are extremely limitless with the TW. So, like I said, today, me and my wife brought our kids out here. The kids are out exploring. You could probably hear them out in the background, but it's just fun to be out on the bikes, and both of these TWs do that. So whether it be the Kickstart with the drum brakes or the electric start with the front disc brake, you can have fun on both. Now, I can't tell you either which way to go or not, because I enjoy riding both of them. So I've ridden the older ones, I've ridden the new ones, and both of them are good. So let me know what you think, though. Would you take the older one? Would you take the new one? Does it have to have a kickstart? Are you okay with the electric start only? Let me know in the comments below. And if there's any questions or something else that you want to see about them, let me know. And I will do my best to answer those questions and show whatever I can, because I absolutely love these bikes. They are a riot, and I am extremely glad that I bought mine. So as far as differences go, that's pretty much it. Would I take this one over this one or this one over this one? No. If you can find a good deal on one, go with the older ones. They're still an absolutely wonderful machine. If you want brand new, go get a brand new one, because obviously not a whole lot has changed, and that is one of the great things about the TW200. So I hope you found this video informative. Again, if there's any questions, comments, go ahead and list those below, and I will do my best to get back to them as soon as I can. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and follow along, because we've got some updates coming with this bike right here. I'm going to be doing more to mine, and I've got another one in the garage that I'm going to be working on and adding stuff to it as well. So make sure to subscribe and follow along, and we'll leave it at that. I'm Matt. This is Mob Street. These are the TW200s that we're hanging out with today, and thanks for watching.